What's up, y'all? So I'm outside on my deck. So I just want to come on and say, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be on here too long because I'm getting bit. But I just finished walking and stuff, and I just came back outside to sit and just feel this good fresh air for a little bit. But let me tell y'all something. Let me talk to you young girls out there. Can I talk to you for a moment? Can I talk to you older women for a moment? Can I talk to you middle women for a moment that are my age? Let me say something. I remember when I was on drugs. I remember when I was chasing down a man willing to throw away family, did throw away some family. Not all, but I did throw away some. Willing to give up on family, willing to break up any relationships with anybody that I had that was good. The relationships was in good standings until I met the wrong man. Now let me tell you what a wrong man I do for you. The wrong man will have you going against people that's always been in your corner. The wrong man will have you out here doing things that you know are out of character for you. You know that ain't even like you to be doing that. Who am I talking to? That ain't even like you. That ain't even a part of who you are. It don't mind how you raised now. Throw aside how you were raised, but how you feel about you on the inside and what's your right, what's your wrong. What you consider to be your rights and wrong, your core beliefs. It don't even match any of that. I feel like I need some water though. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna have to get some. I will be back, y'all, because it's this moist air out here and stuff. Well, I might just take y'all on the inside. Let's go. Because I can't, it's humid out here, y'all. Very humid. A little bit dark in here, but we're going to survive. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to get everything together. I did not plan on coming inside. Let me see if I like my view from here. Okay, so what I was saying is at the end of the day, it's you. I'd rather be outside, y'all. Let's go back outside. Come on, y'all. Y'all been through this before with somebody. I had to get me a bottle of water. Like I said, I was walking. Y'all, hold up. Let me get the ring. Or, let me see. If I can get the ring light to hold this up, we're going to be in some type of business. Oh, God, my back hurts. But I'm still going to say this, y'all. Just give me a second, okay? Things ain't perfect. Things never have been perfect. Let's see. Okay. This may work. I just want to speak to somebody tonight who feels like that things are always going to be that way. And it's not. My leg is broke on this one. So y'all give me a second. Ooh. I wish I could pause it, y'all, but I can't. Mm, I can't pause it. Y'all, give me a second. I'm just trying to fix this. Hello to my one viewer. Okay, y'all. So at the end of the day, I'm saying that it's you, and I'm hoping that's going to stay like that. Because at the end of the day, when I was in a bad relationship, I stayed there and took it. I stayed there and took it. And I blamed everybody else for the reason why my relationship wasn't good. I blamed everybody around me for the reason why my relationship was failing, except for me and the guy that I was with. Now, I was telling my sister the other day, and she said, "Well, you need to go live with that, and at least let somebody else know." But at the end of the day, it was me. It was me, my choices, my decisions, and it was my choice to fall out with family. It was my choice to fall out with friends. It was my choice to do, some of the things that I was doing and stuff. It was my choice. You always have a choice. Don't let nobody hem you up and tell you you don't have a choice, because there is always a choice. It might not be a popular choice or a popular decision, but there's always something that you can do to better you and to be free from strongholds, be free from people who don't mean you any good. A lot of people will come around and they'll fake love on you, or they'll fruit your fake love on you, which means to basically pretend like we're going to be this, we're going to have that, and the whole time you're not going to have nothing, because their mindset ain't right. Your mindset ain't right, so you're not going to have nothing. You're just going to be continuing to keep going in that same cycle of abuse, that same cycle of domestic violence, until you learn who you are. I've been single 11 years, almost 12 years. And somebody said, "Why you single?" You know why I'm single? Because I refuse to settle. Hey, Cammy. Hey, girl, I didn't know that was you. I'm just not seeing you on there. Hey, I refuse to settle. That's why I'm single, because I refuse to settle. And I'm single also because I seen what's out here. I've been through enough experience to know that I don't want to go back through any of that stuff that I came out of. That stuff was so horrible that it lingered around for years. And some of it still lingers. And I had to pray constantly to cast down those imaginations sometimes, because that's how bad it was. But at the end of the day, it's a you problem. It's a you and a heart problem. Your heart ain't getting no communication from God. You got to start communicating. You got to communicate with God. See where he wants you to be. See what he wants you to have. And I'm talking about, even if you're somebody that's out here in the streets right now, you ain't got no church home or nothing like that. You ain't got nobody that's encouraging you or anything. Let me tell you the best way to tell who you are. Pick up that Bible and start reading. Start reading. Just pray for God to give you a place to go read, or either just open it up and point to something and start reading and pray for understanding and wisdom. Because the Bible teaches me that he who lacks, let him ask. So if you lacking in that area, just start asking God. When you start talking to God, he gonna talk back. He gonna talk back. It might not be in the way that you like, but he will talk back through people that he'll have come to see you, people he'll have to encourage you, because God knows you've been praying a long time for this moment. You've been praying a long time to be free. You've been praying a long time to be healed physically and mentally. And every time you start to heal, the devil start to messing, because he don't want you to get your healing. That's all it is. And every time you start to communicate with family and start loving on family, all of a sudden it's a fallout. You know why? Because where there is unity, two or three gathered, where there are two or three gathered, Jesus is in the midst. See, the devil don't want you to be up in that gathering. He wants you to isolate. Stay away from family so he can continue to beat you down, beat you up. You ain't got to stay away from your family. You just got to learn how to communicate with them. Staying away ain't going to change a thing. It don't change nothing. Y'all, wait a minute. See a red ant here. I don't want to get popped by that bastard. But let me tell you, communication is so important that you communicate, and everything ain't got to always be about a fuss and a fight. You got to learn how to talk. You got to learn how to agree to disagree, which basically means that if I'm saying something you don't like, don't get upset and try to fight about it. Just tell me what the honest thing is that you're feeling toward this and why you feel like that. Why you feel like what I'm saying is wrong or something like that. It's better to have that communication open than to have a closed communication, because at the end of the day, and this is what this is about, at the end of the day, we all need somebody. You can't go through this life all by yourself. You can't go through this life with all these crooked people up and behind you telling you what to do and how to do it either. So you got to make a choice this day who you will serve. You got to make that choice. Is you going to ride down, is you down for evil or are you down for good? And your fruits going to always speak for you. What? At the end of the day. At the end of the day, your fruit is going to speak for you. However you live your life, that's going to speak for you. If you out here choosing to do wrong, then when you start sowing what you reap, it's speaking for you. Nobody can choose or make those decisions for you. Unless you're in a dangerous situation where you're being held captive or something, then God knows. God knows what you're going through. He knows where you're at. And still, that communication is necessary. So I would say this: open your eyes, not open your eyes up and see that you gotta think big. It's a meme going around on it's a guy on TikTok. He says think big, think big. Now I ain't gonna say the other words he say behind it, but he say think big. And when I thought about what he was saying, I said, dang, that's so ugly how he's saying that to people. But it's the truth. You got to think bigger than you. You got to think bigger than your situation. You got to think bigger than your environment. You got to think bigger than where you're at. You got to think bigger than being homeless. You got to think bigger than being teethless like me. I had to think bigger, y'all. At the end of the day, God can use you just like you is and where you at. Okay, so I'm just being an example. At the end of the day, you got to think big about the job, the career you want. You got to think big about how you want your language to be. What type of language do you really want to speak? Do you want to speak love language or do you want to speak hate? Because it's up to you. The choice is up to you now. It's all up to you. If you choose to be hateful, then, you're going to reap some hate. It's all up to you how you choose to speak. But back in the day, I was young. I was young back in the day, and this here, listen, let me tell y'all, I thought I knew it all. Couldn't tell Jamie nothing. See, I thought I knew it all because I done been through so much at a young age. I thought I knew men. I thought I knew how to, deal with certain situations. I thought I knew how to handle money. I thought I knew how to handle friends. I thought I had boundaries. Had nothing. All I had was a smart head, but no common sense. Smart as a whip, but no common and spiritual senses at all. At all. No matter how smart you are, there's some dumbness down on the inside of you. And eventually, as you grow and you live, you start to learn, ooh, this thing, don't you dare move, thingy. As you grow and live, you begin to learn that you don't know it all, that you don't have it all. And that will make you want to grow even more. That will make you want to have it even more. That will make you want to do better. But what I was saying was I thought that I knew it all. And because I thought that I knew it all, I found myself in some bad situations with these men. And not only that, I had limited vision. All I saw was where I was at right then and there. I didn't have no goals, y'all. I didn't have no future sight of seeing myself looking better, doing better. All I had was the here and now, which wasn't much. So that means I was walking around faithless. You hear me? I was walking around with no faith. Not really trusting God to get me a better job, not trusting God to help me through this and that. I was walking around leaning to my own understanding, thinking, well, I gotta do this. I gotta hustle. I gotta drink. I gotta smoke. This is the only way I'm gonna get through this. That's the type of mindset. Y'all, when I look back over it now, I laugh and I say, girl, you were so crazy. You had so much creativity coming out of you, out your eyes, your windows, your mouth, but you used it for the wrong thing. God couldn't get the glory out of that stuff you were doing then. You were using it for the wrong thing because I couldn't see better, because I was around people. The worst thing you can do is be around other people who don't have no vision, because people without a vision, they lack and they perish. I'm telling you. If you don't have a vision for your life, or at least some type of thing that you want to do in life, and how you want to be in it. Do you want to be successful in it? You know, if you don't have some type of something to go by, you'll find yourself going by somebody else's script, driving down somebody else's path, somebody else's road. Man, I stayed 15 years on the wrong road because I was living by somebody else's script. I got off in the plan God had for me, and I jumped on the plan that man had for me. And that's the worst thing you can ever do, is get out of the will of God. I suffered every day. Won't no love in that relationship. Won't nothing but hate. Won't nothing but fighting and bickering. Won't nothing but drugs and alcohol. It was no freedom to my mind because my vision was limited, and I didn't know how to get up out of that. I didn't know how to get up out of that mess. For all I knew, I was like, I'm stuck here. This is going to be the rest of my life. So I started giving in to the temptation to start acting less than. I remember one time I even started agreeing with the people what they were saying about me. Putting my own self down. Because I didn't heard it spoken to me so much, I finally just started agreeing with it. So they would think I won't hurt by it. But I was hurt by it. I was hurt by it a lot. Because deep in my heart, I knew that's not who I was. In my heart, I knew that I was chasing love. And the love I was chasing was empty. That pot was empty. That man didn't have nothing. He didn't have no type of love. For holidays, he didn't have no type of love for himself. So that's thing number one. Is you got to open your eyes and have a vision for your life. If you're trying to get straight, get off drugs, get off alcohol, if you're trying to have, if you're trying to just lose weight, anything that you're trying to do in life that you know that this is what you really want, this is what you know that you and God have agreed on, that you know God wants this for your life just as much as you do, you got to open up your eyes and have a vision for it. And sometimes you're going to have to keep praying. Because what I'm saying is the enemy going to keep coming at your eyes. He wants you to stay blind. He wants you to keep the scales on your eyes. He wants you to stay away from people who can give you life. See, the enemy not going to let you get up around somebody who can speak into your life. So some of you going to catch this. And some people won't get an opportunity to see it because their phones will be taken. Their phones will be taken. Some are on allowed to have phones. Some are on a time limit that they can be on the phone by these evildoers that they live with. So they're not allowed to catch messages like this. So if you're able to catch it, be thankful. But you got to open your eyes. You got to pray for them scales to come off. And every time the scales start coming back on, trying to remind you of the familiar places. And these are your struggle places, but they feel comfortable. Because you're not opening up your eyes to have a true vision from God. So when you start feeling really uncomfortable, you know God is working on you. But when you're steady running, and you're not trying to hear from God, but you keep running away from God, that ain't nothing but the enemy telling you, come on out here in this wilderness. I got food for you out here in this wilderness. And again, at the end of the day, that food you eat, guess what? You're going to have to poop that back out. So whatever you put out here in this world, you're going to get it back. You might get it one time, you might get it a lot of times. Second thing, when you're trying to change your life around, what you want to do is get around some people that you know in your heart that they know a little more than you. They know way more than you. They know how to carry themselves in public and in private. They know how to encourage you when you're down, and they know how to laugh and celebrate you when you up. You gotta get around people like that. You gotta get around people who is minded, because that thing, I would say heavenly minded. I'm not gonna say business minded unless you know it's really into a career, but I want you to focus on your soul. That's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on your soul. Get around people who can influence you to be a better you, who can give you some tips on hairstyles and tell you some of the things that they've been through and how they got through it. You want to get around people that been through something, and they usually the people that look like nobodies. To be honest, they usually the people. If you want to get to a real, if you want to get a real deep message, go to a homeless person that's truly homeless. Listen at their testimony. Go to a person who is going through a lot of sicknesses and illnesses. Go to a grieving person who then lost so many people in their family. They don't know what else to do. They the last of their generation. Go to some of those people and hear those stories that they tell. I know sometimes we get the big head and don't want to hear what people be telling us, but sometimes we just need to listen. We just need to listen to what they're saying so that we don't go around that same mountain that our family members went through, that generations before us went through. Because God got something for all of us. And I can tell you this, He's not going to keep you in no one place all your life unless that's what He chooses to do. So don't think because you right here right now that that's where you're going to be tomorrow. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, everything can change. I'm just telling you, I'm just a witness for God as to how He did it for me. It was 15 years. It was 15 years that I suffered. Well, actually, altogether about 20-some years that I suffered in domestic violence and my addictions, which were, well, the addictions. Let me not claim that. I rebuke that in Jesus' name. But the addictions that I suffered with, I've been clean now probably about 15, 16 years. I'm not sure. But 2005 was when I started cleaning up my act. So let me say, you go to God in prayer and pray about where He wants you to be. You're going to have to set some boundaries. That's the third thing. Boundaries. We got your eyes. What did I say the second thing was? I didn't forgot. We got your eyes, and we got, we got your eyes. You got to open up your eyes so you can see better and pray for that sight. And you got to get around people who know more than you. And this next thing, which is going to be my last thing, is you got to set boundaries and have no fear. When you set these boundaries, don't have no fear about who going to say what or do what. Let me tell you what boundaries are. This ain't a Google definition, but this is a Coco definition. Boundaries are words and rules that you set up to protect you. That's what boundaries are. They are to protect you. Oh, what is that? Oh, excuse me, y'all. Big old bug jumping down over here. Got me jumping. I heard it. It was loud. I don't know if y'all heard it or not, but it was loud. But anyway, boundaries are to protect you. They are to protect you. They're to protect your soul, protect your peace, protect your joy. They're to protect the inner you. What you set today gonna affect how you be in years to come. And I keep saying this all the time. I heard it in the conference last month. I took this conference, And I heard it in the women's conference. They were talking about women with inflammation and women with hormonal troubles and stuff. And the man came on and he said, if you really want to take care of your body, ask yourself, how do you want to be when you're 80 years old? Do you want to be 80 years old having to have assistance in the nursing home, having to have assistance at home? Or do you want to be like these 80-year-olds that are out here riding bikes, bungee jumping, skydiving, stuff like that? The choice is yours. What you put in you is what you're going to get out of you. That goes for food, that goes for people, and that goes for financially, and that goes for any type of investment that you put in you or you allow others to put in you. So they can drain you or they can help you grow. You got to decide which side you want to be on. Again, let me just be point blank clear. It's only two sides, evil versus good. That's it. That's it. If I don't say nothing else, that's all I need to say right there. It ain't but two sides you can be on. There ain't no in between. Don't let people tell you a lie. It's not an in between. It's either evil or good. No such thing as I'm good today and evil tomorrow. You got to pick a side. You're not gonna be both. You got to pick a side. Which side you want to be on. And once you pick that side, then you can pick the people that you want to be around. It's okay to see people that you want to be like. If they're good people, it's okay. It's okay to see them and, let them influence some of your choices if they're healthy choices and stuff. What you up to, Cam? But it's okay to be around healthy-minded people. I know back in the day, we were taught so many different things. And I'm not just talking about at home in our environment, but I'm talking about at school, too. The schools didn't prepare us when it came down to our emotional development and our emotional intelligence. We weren't prepared for that. We weren't prepared for domestic violence and possibilities of being diagnosed with some of this or some of this. We wasn't prepared for drug abuse. What did we do? We had maybe 1 week's lesson on drug abuse and domestic violence and stuff in health and PE class, and that was it. It was only a week, and it takes more. I wish I could push for schools to add those classes in their extracurriculums in there that have to do with drug abuse and emotional, not drug abuse. Y'all, when I say emotional intelligence, that's more than drug abuse, okay? That has to do with your emotional well-being overall. So let me stop talking about that. It's only drug addicts that are like that, because it's not. It's not. We got people out here ain't never smoked drugs, and they just as evil as can be. So let me not just make it about that, okay? But I was on that subject because that's the lifestyle that I came from. That's why I was on that. But when you really look at the reality of it, we got people out here who ain't never done no drugs, ain't never smoked no cigarette, but they some of the most evil people. We got people out here who will sit up in the church and smile and shout, and they'll steal the draws off of you. Because they lack emotional intelligence. If they knew how it was going to hurt the next person, come on. If they only knew how what they was doing was going to affect the next person, then they would have emotional feelings or change the way they do things so people wouldn't get hurt in behind stuff. So emotional intelligence has a lot to do with how people make choices. And if you lack that emotional intelligence, you're not going to make too many wise decisions. Because everything you do, guess what it's going to be based on? Emotions. People who are emotionally intelligent, they know how to calm their emotions. They know how to. It's a Proverbs thing. I don't know if it's Proverbs 5 but it's a Proverbs thing. They know how to speak when it's time to speak. They know how to talk when it's time to talk. And then we got some Ecclesiastes out in there. And they know Basically, when it's a time to grieve, they know when it's a time to build, they know when it's a time to rest, because they are emotionally intelligent to the spirit. They can hear what God is saying because they're tuned in to what God is saying to them. They're tuned in and they're studying their Bible. They're not just studying their Bible, but they're living the life. They're living the life. They might not be perfect in some things, some ways, but when it comes down to handling situations, they know how to calm themselves down so that they can get the best outcome versus, just getting angry and mad and want to fight and stuff. I remember when I lacked emotional intelligence. I never forget it. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was such a hothead, I see some people popping on and some people be popping off, but that's y'all better come on back here. Oh, okay, Cammy. I heard that. But emotional intelligence, though, when you get time, y'all just go and look up emotional intelligence and begin to study that. And where you lack the wisdom in that area, where you lack that intelligence in that area, pray on it, study on it, and learn it until it helps you to change your behavior. Because the only way you're going to change behavior, bad behavior, is to learn good behavior. You gotta go through and everything that you've been learning that was bad, you gotta go through and replace it with good stuff. Get not toss it out. Put that good stuff back in there. You only gonna get the good stuff from the Bible, the truth. That's the truth, I tell you. You only gonna you can't get out of a self-help book what the Bible can do for you. Because once God starts giving you that understanding and stuff, that's a whole nother ball game. You gonna see big and you gonna see bright. You ain't gonna fear nothing. You ain't gonna be fearing no evil. And then if you do fall into temptations, you quickly get up out of that. Sometimes though, gotta let you sit there. But that's what it is, y'all. It's a you thing. Yes, we can get mad at the things that people do to us, but at the end of the day, we got to pray for us too, that God change our heart to accept the things that they do. And when I say accept the fact that they don't want to change, that they're enjoying doing what they want to do. At some point, you're going to have to learn how to accept that and do what's right for you. That's what I had to do. I had to grow up. I had to grow up emotionally and learn to just be like, you know what? It's not them this time. It's me. It's me. I remember that second relationship. That's how I actually got out of that, was I finally grew emotionally. Instead of saying, God, please help him to stay with me. God, please let this be the one. God, please, get on him so that he'll love me. I didn't do that this time. I didn't beg God to keep me in a bad, toxic relationship. I remember I was crying and I stopped the car. I was driving a van back then, a little green Dodge van. And I was headed by the park and I stopped the car and I said, Lord, if my praying to you ain't changing him, then change me. That's what I prayed. I said, change me. And at that time, I didn't know Bible like that. I didn't know scriptures or nothing. And so when I came and discovered the scripture, change me, oh God, David, the psalmist David, when I came through, was he a psalmist? Ooh, I think it was in there, yeah. But David, when he said, change me, oh God, that's when I read that for the first time. And I was like, that's crazy, because that came out of my mouth. And I didn't even know that was in the Bible. Did I hear it somewhere or what? But no, that was the Holy Spirit, because God already knew my decision, because God already knew me before I was born. And God knows you too. He already know the decisions you're going to make. He already know those decisions, so don't be afraid to talk to him about it. Don't be afraid to talk to him about things that you're going through. I would never say that I'm perfect in anything or without fault. I mean, I just quit smoking cigarettes. August 16th will be 1 year. But keep in mind how many years that I went on smoking that because I lacked intelligence and knowledge. It won't knowledge. It won't knowledge. It was just that I didn't want to turn from my own ways. I can't really put it off on nothing but that. I was enjoying what I was doing. I didn't want to turn from my old ways, and it just came a time where I got tired of smoking. I don't know what it was, because I've been praying for years for God to help me with the smoking thing, and He didn't really step in until I actually got serious about that thing. And when I got serious about it, I started studying about how to quit smoking and started reading all kind of different books and stuff. Then God came along and He helped me. So if you make one step, it's true. He will make two for you. And I tell you, I'm going on 1 year cigarette free. 1 year. And if I would have been looking at this thing last year at this time, I did not see myself quitting smoking cigarettes. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I quit smoking cigarettes 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. I found out 2 weeks before I quit. I actually quit that I was going to be quitting smoking. I didn't even know. See, because it hadn't even entered my heart yet. And that's how God does. He'll place stuff in your heart. That didn't enter my heart. And when it did, I was like, 2 weeks? Am I going to be able to quit smoking in 2 weeks? I had 2 weeks of hard, long studying that I had to do. And I had to get it in, and God led me everywhere I needed to go. The Holy Spirit did. And all the videos and stuff I needed to watch, the Holy Spirit led me to watch the videos I need to watch. And by the time I did all that, I was done. I was like, oh, God, yes, I'm done. That's it. And you know what? You got to be careful how people speak in your ear. Because a lot of people were like, well, you can't quit smoking cigarettes. Quitting smoking cigarettes is hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Well, they drilling in you. They training you to let it be hard. That when you hear people steady being negative like that, they training your mind to say, well, it's hard. It's hard. So I'm going to try to quit, but I just already know that I'm going to pick it back up. So if they training you that it's hard, that means you got to go harder and train yourself to say that, no, it's not hard. With God, all things are possible. That's what I said. I had withdrawals for like 3 days. After that, I ain't had no problems. It was like after I changed my mindset toward it. And what changed my mindset toward it is a book by Alan Carr called Quit Smoking. His name is Alan Carr, C-A-R-R. And I didn't even read the whole book. It was just this one thing that brought me through. One sentence can change your life. That one sentence was talking about where he said, and this was in an interview that he was doing on YouTube. He said, well, I smoked for 20-some years. All this time, people would tell me that I couldn't quit smoking. And I wondered, how could I not quit smoking when this was something that was man-made? But the part that changed my mind was when he said, the reason why I didn't never try to quit smoking was because people were talking about how bad the withdrawals was. They were telling me about how bad I was going to go through withdrawals. And he said, well, being the man that I am, I said, well, how good can I go through it? So what happened was he changed how he looked at going through the situation, and that changed the outcome of the situation. When he stopped looking at the withdrawals as a threat and looking at it as a blessing, that man quit smoking, and to this day, now that's an old book, y'all. That book probably about 40-some years old. And to this day, people are still using that book to quit smoking. And it worked for me, because he said, as soon as you put a cigarette down, he said, you in withdrawal every day, and you survive it. You survive it. So how come you think you can't do without it? How come you can't think how come you think you can't do without that man that's constantly putting you down, or bruising you, or cheating on you, or I'm going behind your back saying stuff about you? And it's the same thing with relationships like that, It's the same thing. I had to ask myself, how come I can't leave this man alone? What's wrong with me? Well, you think it's going to hurt. You think if you go do better for yourself, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to hurt for a little while, but whenever you start going, it's going to get better and better. But until you're willing to go through the withdrawals and you look at it as a blessing instead of a threat or a curse, you ain't going to get where you want to be. You got to change how you look at it. You got to change it, honey. If I would have listened to what everybody else was saying, a lot of people was always like, well, you quit smoking, you're gonna get lung cancer and all that stuff. Well, if you keep on smoking, you ain't gonna be able to breathe. That's point blank. The wind I have in me now, like I probably could let me see. I'm gonna see if I can blow. Can y'all see that? How I blow that water? I don't know if y'all can see it. Where it looks like it's bubbling on the inside. Before I couldn't do that. Before I couldn't blow nothing this close in front of my face. I couldn't blow it. It would just be like a whole little quick puff like that. But now I can inhale and I can exhale. Just air that was spit. Trying to make a little buzz sound. But I'm good. But I'm just saying, the more than what I'm saying is that if you want to change, you gotta want that change, and you gotta change the way you looking toward your change. If you look at your change as it being as you dreading it, you're not gonna keep that. But if you look at it with joy, you're gonna keep that, because that's where your joy and peace gonna be. Every time I am able to sit back and look at my bank account and say, wow, that's $200 that's not going towards cigarettes. That's $100 that's not going towards cigarettes. Every time I'm able to look, I just get happy and excited. And because of that, I'm able now to do things that I couldn't do before. So, as I said on the title of this, it's not the people around you or the things that people are doing. It's you. It's you. Everything come back to you. Because can't nobody do for your body like you can. And it's all in who you trusting in. You got to put your trust in God in order to take care of yourself. Because without Him, we can't even take care of ourselves. That's why a lot of people ain't taking care of themselves. Because they don't have God with them. Then start hanging around these people with these off-the-wall religions and stuff like that. Get back to the main source, and that's God. You get back to the main plug, you're going to be good. All right, so I hope I said something that's going to help somebody. My heart just goes out to people with the limited vision, because I can look at somebody and I can tell that they're so full of creativity, and because of probably the people they're hanging with, they feel like, well, I might as well get, just not even be that now. If you talk to people who have come off of addictions, and I'm talking about any kind of addiction. It could be hoarding. It could be food eating, food disorders. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to use, food disorders. Some of the people who have food disorders, because I had food disorders too, we go and use food to eat when we can't mentally cope with stuff, and so I'm learning not to do that myself. But some of the people, once they lose the weight and they have kept that weight off for years, and I'm talking about not just 4 years or 3 years, but like 20 some years, and they come back and talk and teach and try to help the next person, they have a testimony, and that testimony on the inside that comes out, it helps the next person. Because usually they're like, when I was eating all that food and stuff, I felt disgusted with myself. I hated myself. I couldn't look in the mirror at myself. And some people were real skinny, became anorexic. So when I say food disorders, don't think that's just big people. It's skinny people too. Anorexia. Some people looked in the mirror and said, I'm too big, and wouldn't eat. Because they were so focused on the wrong things. The wrong things in life. Their mind was out here wandering, and the devil was playing tricks with their mind, telling them that you got to look a certain way in order to be loved. The real thing that they were missing was love, and they were trying to get it from mama, from daddy, from family members, from men, from women, and they couldn't get it from them the way they wanted it, because even when people were showering them with love, they couldn't receive it because they had a wall up. That's why I say it goes back to you. It's a you thing. I couldn't stop eating the way I was eating until I put my wall down for God. See, we be blocking the wrong person out, and we be putting the wrong people in. You know what I'm saying? We need to put God back in and start blocking out these bad people. But I was blocking out some of the things that I knew was wrong, but you know, I just been doing it for so long, it felt right. But if you actually go by that Bible gonna hurt you. It's gonna correct you, and then it's gonna correct you out of love. And when I say it's gonna hurt you, I mean it's gonna hurt you because once you see that your way ain't the way, you're gonna be like, but I've been like this all my life. I don't wanna change. And then that's when you're gonna see. When them tears start showing up coming, when you ball up like a baby screaming and hollering, Lord help me. You know something about to come. Something about to change. Whenever you start calling on the Lord to get you through this and that, it take hitting rock bottom spiritually. Some people got to hit it spiritually to understand what God is trying to do in their life. I've been there too, rock bottom hit spiritually. I remember I lived 10 years with hate in my heart. Got so big. Ooh. Got up to 560 pounds. Because I lived them 10 years with hate in my heart. So it's a you thing. So if you want to unblock what God is trying to do for you, you got to actually trust God. Let your wall down to God. I'm not telling you go out here and tell people what you're going through or anything like that. There's a big old plane just sitting there in the sky. It's just sitting there. Let me see if I can show y'all. Camera, I told you they be just sitting there. I'm looking at it now. Hold up. I don't know if you can see or not. Oh man, I don't think you can see it. But anyways, like I was saying, it's just sitting there. They do that a lot these days. But anyway, like I was saying though, that did distract me, y'all, because it was just flashing the light like that. So, but like I was saying, you gotta let your wall down to God. When I first started realizing that I had a wall up to God on certain things that in my life, see, we want to give God part of the things in our life, but we don't want to give God all the things in our life. I didn't realize I had a wall up until 2020. That's when I realized that I lived with this wall up, and it was so comfortable. It was so comfortable just hiding behind big clothes or dark clothes or hiding, sitting in the car, you know, never getting out doing anything and stuff like that. That was all comfortable. But one day, God let me know, you do know I've given you activity in your limbs, and you need to get off your butt and use what I've given you, or you can lose it. And I couldn't use what he gave me in the right way until I let the wall down. Had to get to the root of what was eating me up on the inside. And it was several different things that were eating me up. And so I had to tackle it one thing at a time. But now I can face those fears that I had. And a lot of reason why people don't want to change, this the fourth thing and the last thing right here. I'm going to be on here 1 hour and then I'm going to get off. This is the last thing right here. The fourth reason why people don't want to change is fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear that they don't know how tomorrow's going to be. Fear that if they step outside of their normal routine, that something's going to happen bad. Fear that if they don't stick to doing what they're going to do, they're never going to find love. Nobody's going to love them. Well, according to what you're going through, you already trapped up in that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, people go through stuff and they be already trapped in it, but don't even realize it. So fear kept me in those bad relationships. How did fear play a part? Well, I was so big, I felt like I was ugly. Even though people be like, you so beautiful. And at that time, I had all my teeth and stuff, and my teeth was always pearly. But I always took pride in my mouth. I always did. I ain't gonna lie. God took the one thing. Yes, he did. He took the one thing that I always took pride in. If I ever thought I had a broody part on me, it was my teeth. My teeth was everything to me. And when God took my teeth, I mean, well, God didn't do it. God allowed my teeth to mess up and stuff. And that was because of the drug abuse, alcohol, and the smoking cigarettes that I was doing. I was abusing my body, so I reap what I sow. And but God allowed it to happen to teach me to humble myself down. Because no matter how many times people call me brutal and stuff, I never saw the broody in me. All I saw was how can I say? All I saw was a monster. Only time I would look in the mirror is if I was getting dressed to go somewhere. Other than that, I ain't looking in no mirror. I ain't taking no pictures. Look, y'all will go on my Facebook and you see I take a lot of pictures now. But before, I felt like I was so ugly. I felt like I was such a disgrace. I would not take pictures. I wouldn't allow nobody to take pictures of me. And I was always the one with the camera taking pictures of everybody else. But you never saw any pictures of me up until I think it was around, I want to say about 2000, yeah, because my son was getting ready to graduate high school. That's when I first started taking pictures, 2012. But if you try to find pictures of me before then, there was not really a lot of pictures of me before then, because I did not believe in taking pictures for myself, but I did love seeing family, so I always took pictures of family. But I felt like I was a monster. I felt like I deserved to be treated bad. I felt like I remember telling the man at the ambulance, no, at the hospital the other night, I said, well, when I was on drugs, I would go in my bathroom and I would smoke and I would pray to God to bust my heart. I didn't want to live like that. Life was painful to me. And nobody could understand why I felt like that. But I had so much going on the inside. And that's not even including what the people were doing to me. That was just me. That was just the stuff I had going on the inside about me. That wasn't including the bad relationships and the mama drama and all that stuff. This was just me. I had fear so bad in me to love myself. I feared loving myself because I didn't know what would happen. What would happen if I would finally start loving myself and start acting better than what I was acting? In my mind, I felt like I would lose all my friends. I felt like I wouldn't be cool no more, I wouldn't be popular. And listen, I still had a childlike mentality. When I really look back on it now, from the maturity that I have now, and I look back on it back then when I was in my 20s and my 30s, I was childish. And I was like, I feared, how would I get through if I lose everybody? If everybody leave me, it's just going to be me. What am I going to do? All that fear. Come on, somebody. Laugh with me, somebody. After all that self-negative talk and hate, the one thing started happening that I never thought would happen. I finally started loving myself. When I started getting into the Word of God in 2013. I never forget, November 3rd, 2013 is the day I truly gave my life to God. And I started loving myself. It was hard now, I ain't gonna lie. But I had one man tell me, he wasn't no man I was talking to or nothing like that, but he told me, he said, well, Miss Lady, have you ever thought about just go get you a hotel room and just start working on yourself some, start fixing yourself up, letting yourself go. A man told me that. And so I got where I would go once a month to the hotel, and I just spend time with me, getting to know me. And the more I spent time with me, I started loving me. And the more I started loving me, I started realizing this thing I was scared of, people leaving me, guess what, y'all? They left me anyway. When I stopped doing drugs, I stopped drinking alcohol, they left. They didn't want to see me get better. I was good with them as long as I was sick in my mind. As long as I was doing what they were doing, they were good with me. But when I stopped and wanted to do better, that's when I found my true friend. And that was Jesus. So I'm trying to encourage somebody on here to not find your true friend. And it ain't but one. I don't care how many people you know now, how many people you can tell your secrets to and it never get out. It ain't but one. It ain't but one. Now, he give us people to walk with and people to be friends with, but it ain't but one true one. Because even the closest of friends have at some point said something that they shouldn't have said and had to apologize. So when I found Jesus, that fear started leaving me. And the more the fear left, the more I started loving on myself. And it would take me another 10 years to get it right to the point where I can look at myself now in the mirror. I can come on here and talk and not feel bad about how I look or anything. Because guess what? These scars, these losses, this is part of my story. And if I had not been through that, if I had a full set of teeth right now, you know what? And a nice little laid back body, ooh, ain't no telling what I'd be doing. So God knows and he orders our steps. I don't want you to fear your change. Don't fear your change. It's okay. Everything got to fall out of place. I think I should have posted that on Facebook today. But everything got to fall out of place anyway for God to put it back together. So when it starts looking like hell, it starts looking like chaos, that's God rearranging your life. Don't fight it. Stand there, stand firm on the word of God. Even if you do not know the word of God, just say, I'm standing firm on the word of God. I know that God has promised me that he'll never leave me. I know that God has promised me that he'll never forsake me. I know that God told me don't even worry about what I'm going to eat, drink, or put on tomorrow. Because if you don't know that from scripture, I'm telling it to you now. And you can still stand and say that. So you don't even worry about what you're going to eat or drink tomorrow. Because he's a provider and a great one at that. The best there is. Can't nobody do like he do. So don't let that fear hold you back from your next change. It's going to be a great change. And I know it's going to be a great change. And you're going to end up in places that you didn't even think you could be in. I was telling my sister this morning, I said, girl, it's some newness there for you. You got to take it. You got to take it. You know, we all wanting better homes. And I said, I've been here 26 years where I'm at now. I'm living here. I've been living here since I was like about 19 years old. And I said, you know, it's a nice place. It's lovely. And this baby, this mobile home has taken care of me. I don't care what Kim Burrell said about mobile homes. I raised kids here. I raised my 2 kids. I didn't help raise my grandchildren. I didn't raise, you know, some other people's kids and stuff. You know, I just had my piece in there, you know. I don't take total credit for raising other people's kids. I can only take credit for my kids. I just say when they came around, I was loving on them kids. I don't care. I love on the kids now. Feed the kid, whatever the kid need, I'm going to do. But this home took care of me 26 years. And just because I've been here 26 years don't mean I got to look mobile home. I love you, but it don't be staying here them 26 years. I can't fear leaving this. If I got to leave this behind to get to my greater, when it's time, I've got to go. It's somebody's time. It's somebody's time to stop fearing. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start thinking about what could go right. Stop being afraid of thinking, well, how's people going to look at me? You know, my family knows me to be this type of person, but here I am this type of person, you know. So what? That's their opinion. Opinions don't get you into heaven or hell. Can I say that again? That's their opinion. And opinions don't get you into heaven or hell. Opinions can't give you joy. Opinions can make you laugh. You can have a little bit of happiness. But that joy, it don't come from the world. It come from God. So opinion ain't got nothing on God. So you got to get to the point where you get over folks' opinion and their criticism. They're going to do that mess anyway. Whether you doing right, wrong, good, bad, they're going to do it anyway. I know I was at that program the other night. And it used to be a time I wouldn't even let my arms hang out. Because I felt like I was so monstrous. Because they big like thighs and they oval. Because I got, you know, the extra hormones and stuff going on in the arms and in the thighs. And my granddaughter made me love my arms, and I told her that today. I said, Serenity, you know what made me start loving my arms? When I used to complain about how my arms look, and my granddaughter said, but Grandma, I love your arms. I love to lay on your arms. So see, love did that. Love helped me to accept my arms the way they was. The person God has for you will love you and accept you the way you are. So don't fear to change. Eventually, you'll continue to change. You'll continue to grow. It's gradual steps. It's nothing that you're not gonna do major stuff overnight. You know, it takes steps. It takes time. But I hope that I've encouraged somebody to, just get up out of your comfort zone and trust God. Because like I was telling my sister, like whatever God got for you, He got for you. But you got to get up and go get it. Like you can't sit back and be like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Well, we serve a big God. You don't know what? No. You know how you're gonna do it. You're gonna get up and you're gonna walk by faith. And you're gonna trust God to put the right people in your path. And I'm still gonna be looking for God to get my big home. I don't know if it's gonna be a double wide, Kimber Rail. I don't know if it's gonna be a double wide or it's gonna be a modular house. I don't know, but I know God got something greater for me. See, this was the before, but now I got to move on. This is a milestone here. This is a milestone. Now it's time for me to move on. Not saying it's gonna be right now, but when God gives me the sign that, girl, I need you to go get with your husband, or I need you to go by yourself and put your name on this application, I'm gonna approve it for you. Bam! I'm going. I sure am. I'm going. Because I want to make sure that I get everything that God has for me so that I can pour back out to others. All right, y'all. So the bottle of water has left the building. My throat done got a little scratchy, but it ain't as humid out here as it was when I first started talking, because I was walking, y'all. I was walking. I got a couple weights here. I got to lift some 10-pounders. Yeah, I'm still out here lifting weights and stuff, y'all. Look at them, Lord. That skin. You know what? One of these days, that old skin gonna tighten up without surgery. It's gonna tighten up, and I'm gonna be looking back and I'm saying, I remember when my arm was like. I know this Serena favorite. She tried to lay on it today, bless her heart, and she was like, Grandma, it's too flat now because it used to be here and now it's here. I'm like, girl, you better stop tripping. You done got me loving my arms and now you telling me they too small. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here, go find me a movie, go find something to eat. I think it's gonna be a peanut butter jelly kind of night with a glass of milk and what else? That might be all. Because I can't think of nothing else I really want to eat right now. I know what I've been wanting all day is a banana. I've been wanting a banana all day, so it might just be peanut butter jelly, and I need something else. I do need something else to go with that. I don't know. So, Cammy, let me ask you, since you're on here, you got any goals you trying to reach? You got any goals you trying to reach, or anything that causes you to have fear and doubt? Any type of fear, Sometimes people have fear and they won't even realize that it's a fear. It can be anything. Anything you trying to do in your new season. Cause we all need to be refreshed. That's why I be praying for a renewed mind and renewed body, like almost every day, especially when I can remember it. Sometimes I don't always remember it, because we're not perfect beings. And I just pray that something will reach somebody and get them to open their eyes and see that, yeah, this may be where you're at, but you don't gotta add to it. You have a chance to change. You still here. You got a chance to change. You don't have to keep conforming to the things of this world. That's what breaks a lot of people down, when they start conforming to the things of this world, and then when they start seeing that the world turn their back on them. Listen, it'll be the world turn their back on them, but they'll take it out on family, friends, children, churches, anybody that they can take it out on. because the world doesn't care if they take it out on them. So, which means they can't get a reaction. So, when they can't get a reaction, then, it's like that's when they go and start, trying to take it out on people who love and really do care about them. When they can't get that reaction from the world, they got to go somewhere and get it. One of these days, though, one of these days, though, it's gonna become a time when I'm gonna pass out some big hugs. One of these days, because I think people just need to know that they are loved and that they can change anytime. Yep. Well, y'all, I done been on here one whole hour. One whole hour. Don't y'all forget to like and subscribe. You can come follow me on Facebook. My professional profile page is Jamie, Jamie Boughton. And then also on Facebook, we have the fan page, My Plus Size Grandma Reality Show Podcast fan page. Come on over there and follow, subscribe, and see what I'm up to. And then I got TikTok, guys. If y'all love videos, I am doing skits now, and I'm loving them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be recording skits on Thursday. I'm going to record some skits Thursday and probably release them that Friday night. So on TikTok, I'm playing a character by the name of Tyrone, the bass man, the bass player. Y'all got to come check that out. Like, dude is hilarious. Dude just doing too much to women. To his baby mama, to his girlfriend, everybody. He doing too much. So y'all got to come check him out for real. But yeah, be sure to hit me up on TikTok. I'm getting ready to get off and go on there in a minute. I'm not going live. I had a lot of people jump on my live. My first TikTok, I had 1,500 likes in a matter of like 2 minutes. I was like, wow. But I'm not finna go in there. I'm going to just watch some videos and eat my peanut butter jelly sandwich and some milk. What else do I want? I just don't see that holding me. Maybe I should just go to sleep early. Okay, y'all. I was trying to wait and see if Cammy had anything she wanted to add to this. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. But I enjoyed y'all, and y'all be sure to come back again. Okay, peace, love, and happiness. I'm tired, y'all.